Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to switch it up a little bit. We found a new book, or I got a new book as a gift. It's going to be this one. I got some more books as well, but we're going to do this one today, maybe for a little bit. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're just doing this on the fly, off the cuff, if you will. This is about all the gods of mythology, so I figured with all the negativity or the deep and dark tones of the Bible, maybe we could switch it up into this, and there'll be some maybe lighter reading. So this is just like fairies, like stories, fairy tales. I guess depending on who you believe, there are also some illustrations, and I'll do my best to show those as well. But it looks like a pretty good book, and so yeah, we're going to start there, and we're going to work our way out. And then as we go along, we'll do like we normally do, and stop and talk about it if I see something that's great. Or see something that's like needs to be talked about, right? Okay. Thank you again for coming to see me. So this is brand new. Haven't even read this book yet, so we're gonna all figure it out together. I don't know if you've read it, but let's check it out. So, chapter 1, the gods. So it says, strange clouded fragments of an ancient glory, late lingerers of the company divine. They breathe of that far world wherefrom they come. Lost halls of heaven and Olympian air. The Greeks did not believe that the gods created the universe. It was the other way about. The universe created the gods. Before there were gods, heaven and earth had been formed. They were the first parents. The Titans were their children, and the gods were their grandchildren. The Titans, often called the elder gods, were for untold ages supreme in the universe. They were of an enormous size and incredible strength. There were many of them, but only a few appear in the stories of mythology. The most important was Cronus, in Latin Saturn. He ruled over the Titans until his son Zeus dethroned him and seized the power for himself. The Romans said that when Jupiter, their name for Zeus, pages are nice and thick too, ascended to the throne, Saturn fled to Italy and brought in the Golden Age, a time of perfect peace and happiness, which lasted as long as he reigned. The other notable Titans were Ocean, the river that was supposed to encircle the earth, his wife Theseus, Hyperion, the father of the sun, the moon, and the dawn. Oh wow, I'm going to have to look this up. Memnosinine is what I understand how to pronounce it, which means memory. Famous, usually translated by justice. And, oh, here's another one. Iapetus. Important because of his sons. Atlas, who bore the world on his shoulder. And Prometheus, who was a savior of mankind. I guess that's what the movie is. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Prometheus. It was a pretty cool movie. But I guess maybe that was supposed to be the savior of mankind. Or maybe, like, building of mankind. I don't know. Who is a savior of mankind. These alone among the older gods were not banished with the coming of Zeus, but they took a lower place. The 12 great Olympians were supreme among the gods who succeeded to the Titans. They were called the Olympians because Olympus was their home. What Olympus was, however, is not easy to say. There is no doubt that at first it held to be a mountaintop, and generally identified with Greece's highest mountain, Mount Olympus in Thessaly, and northeast of Greece. But even in the earliest Greek poem, the Iliad, the idea is the beginning to give way to the idea of an Olympus in some mysterious region far above all the mountains of the earth. In one passage of the Iliad, Zeus talks to the gods from the topmost peak of many-ridged Olympus, clearly a mountain, but only a little further on, he says that if he willed, he could hang earth and sea from a pinnacle of Olympus, clearly no longer a mountain. Even so, it is not heaven. Homer makes Poseidon say that he rules the sea, Hades the dead, Zeus the heavens, but Olympus is common to all three. Wherever it was, the entrance to it was a great gate of clouds kept by the seasons. Within were the gods' dwellings. where they lived and slept and feasted on ambrosia and nectar and listened to Apollo's lyre. It was an abode of perfect blessedness. No wind, Homer says, even shakes the untroubled peace of Olympus. No rain ever falls there, or snow, but the cloudless firmament. There we go, there's firmament again. So there's a connection between Christianity and this. Just maybe the smallest connection, but both of them mention the firmament, which is super interesting. The firmament stretches around it on all sides, and the white glory of sunshine is diffused upon its walls. The 12 Olympians made up a divine family. Zeus is the chief. Poseidon and Hades are number 2 and 3. Vesta is their sister. Hera is Zeus's wife. Ares is their son. And then Zeus's children, Athena, Apollo, Aphrodite, Hermes, and Artemis. And Hera's son is Hephaestus, or Vulcan, sometimes to be the son of Zeus too. Just cool. Look at this artwork. That's pretty cool artwork, I think. Whoever did that. I don't know if it's computer generated or drawn. I don't know. It's really cool though. So we're going to start with Zeus. Zeus and his brother drew lots for their share of the universe. The sea fell to Poseidon and the underworld to Hades. Zeus became the supreme ruler. He was lord of the sky, the rain god, and the cloud gatherer who wielded the awful thunderbolt. His power was greater than that of all the other divinities together. In the Iliad, he tells his family, I am the mightiest of all. Make trial that you may know. Fasten a rope of gold to heaven and lay hold, every god and goddess. You could not drag down Zeus, but if I wished to drag you down, then I would. The rope I would bind to a pinnacle of Olympus, and all would hang in the air, yes, the very earth and the sea too. Nevertheless, he was not omnipotent or omniscient either. He could be opposed and deceived. Poseidon dupes him in the Iliad, and so does Hera. Sometimes, too, the mysterious power, fate, is spoken of as stronger than he. Homer makes Hera ask him scornfully if he possesses to deliver from death a man fate has doomed. He is represented as falling in love with one woman after another and descending to all manner of tricks to hide his infidelity from his wife. Naughty boy. Naughty, naughty. Just because you have power doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want. The explanation why such actions were ascribed to the most majestic of the gods is, the scholars say, that Zeus of song and story has been made by combining many gods. When his worship spread to a town where there was already a divine ruler, the two were slowly fused into one. The wife of the early god was then transferred to Zeus. The result, however, was unfortunate, and the later Greeks did not like these endless love affairs. Still, even in the earliest record, Zeus had grandeur. In the Iliad, Agamemnon prays, Zeus, most glorious, most great, god of the storm cloud, thou that dwellest in the heavens. He demanded, too, not only sacrifices from men, but right action. The Greek army at Troy is told Father Zeus never helps liars or those who break their oaths. These two ideas of him, the low and the high, persisted side by side for a long time. His breastplate was the Aegeus, awful to behold. His bird was the eagle, his tree the oak. His oracle was Donda in the land of oak trees. The god's will was revealed by rustling of oak leaves, which the priests interpreted. So I'm seeing some similarities in Christianity or in the Bible and this book. Just some. She was Zeus. Okay, so now we're going on to Hera. She was Zeus' wife and sister. Zeus's wife and sister. That's kind of interesting and odd. Wife and sister. The Titans, Ocean and Thais, brought her up. She was the protector of marriage, and married women were her peculiar care. There is very little that is attractive in the portrait the poets draw of her. She is called, indeed, an early poem. Golden-throned Hera, among immortals, the queen, chief among them in beauty, the glorious lady. All the blessed in high Olympus revere, honor even as Zeus, the lord of thunder. But when any account of her gets down to the details, it shows her chiefly engaged in punishing the many women Zeus fell in love with, even when they yielded only because he coerced or tricked them. It made no difference to Hera how reluctant any of them were or how innocent. The goddess treated them all alike. Her implacable anger followed them and their children too. She never forgot an injury. The Trojan War would have ended in an honorable peace, leaving both sides unconquered, if it had not been for her hatred of the Trojan who had judged other goddesses lovelier than she. The wrong of her slighted beauty remained with her until Troy fell in ruins. In one important story, the quest of the Golden Fleece, she is the gracious protector of heroes and the inspirer of heroic deeds, but not in any other. Nevertheless, she was venerated in every home. She was a goddess-married woman turned for help. Oh, I don't know that. Eileithyia, who has helped women in childbirth, was her daughter. The cow and the peacock were sacred to her. Argos was her favorite city. So, and this is like, it seems like this is all like introductions to them. Oh, this is really great. Oh, wow. It is really depth. Okay, cool. Can't wait to read more. All right, Poseidon, which is Neptune, was a ruler of the sea, Zeus's brother, and second only to him in eminence. The Greeks on both sides of the Aegean were seamen, and the god of the sea was all important to them. His wife was Amphitrite, was her name, a granddaughter of the Titan, Ocean. Poseidon had a splendid place beneath the sea, but he was oftener to be found in Olympus. Besides being lord of the sea, he gave the first horse to man, and was honored as much for one as for the other. Lord Poseidon, from you this pride is ours, the strong horses, the young horses, and also the rule of the deep. Storm and calm were under his control. He commanded, and the storm wind rose in the surges of the sea. But when he drove his golden car over the waters, the thunder of the waves sank into stillness, and tranquil peace followed his smooth rolling wheels. He was commonly called Earth Shaker, and was always shown carrying his trident, a three-pronged spear, with which he would shake and shatter whatever he pleased. He had some connection with bulls as well as with horses, but the bull was connected with many other gods too. Oh, now we're getting to Hades. He was a third brother among the Olympians, who drew for his share the underworld and the rule over the dead. He was also called Pluto, the god of wealth, of the precious metals hidden in the earth. The Romans, as well as the Greeks, called him by his name, but often they translated it to dis, the Latin word for rich. He had a far-famed cap or helmet, which made whoever wore it invisible, which is pretty cool. Invisible, that's awesome. It was rare that he left his dark realm to visit Olympus or the earth, nor was he urged to do so. He was not a welcome visitor. He was unpitying, inexorable, but just a terrible, not an evil god. His wife was Persephone, whom he carried away from the earth to make queen of the lower world. He was king of the dead, not death himself, whom the Greeks called Thanatos, and the Romans Orcus. Thanatos. That sounds weird. It's like Thanos, right? The bringer of death. I guess it makes sense that a lot of Marvel and stuff got their I mean, you got Thor. Like, why wouldn't they have, like, somebody that's, like, the god of death, right? Or somebody that rules the underworld, and essentially what he was. Super interesting to see how kind of like all this stuff connect. So, Minerva, she was the daughter of Zeus alone. No mother bore her, full grown and in full armor. She sprang from his head. In the earliest account of her, the Iliad, she is a fierce and ruthless battle goddess. But elsewhere, she is warlike only to defend the state and the home from outside enemies. She was preeminently the goddess of the city, the protector of civilized life, of handicrafts and agriculture, the inventor of the bridle, who first tamed horses for men to use. She was Zeus's favorite child. He entrusted her to carry the awful Aegis, his buckler, and his devastating weapon, the thunderbolt. The word oftenest used to describe her is gray-eyed, or as is sometimes translated, flashing red. Of the three virgin goddesses, she was the chief and was called the maiden, and her temple the Parthenon. In later poetry, she is the embodiment of wisdom, reason, and purity. Athens was her special city. The olive created by her was her tree, the owl her bird. So super interesting. I like this. I didn't know all this about the Greek gods, but I'm glad I do now. So Apollo is the son of Zeus and Leto. Born in the little island of Delos, he has been called the most Greek of all the gods. He is a beautiful figure in Greek poetry, the master musician who delights Olympus as he plays on his golden lyre. The lord, too, of the silver bow, the archer god, far shooting, the healer as well, who first taught men the healing art. Even more than of these good and lovely endowments, he is the god of light, in whom is no darkness at all. And he is so the god of truth. No false word ever falls from his lips. O Phobos, from your throne of truth, from your dwelling place at the heart of the world, you speak to men. By Zeus's decree, no lie comes there, no shadow to darken the world of truth. Zeus sealed by an everlasting right, Apollo's honor, that all may trust with unshaken faith when he speaks. Delphi, under towering Parnassus, where Apollo's oracle was, plays an important part in mythology. Castalia was its sacred spring, Cephesus its river. It was held to be the center of the world, so many pilgrims came to it. From foreign countries as well as Greece, no other shrine rivaled it. The answers to the questions asked by the anxious seekers for truth were delivered by a priestess who went into a trance before she spoke. The trance was supposed to be caused by a vapor rising from a deep cleft in the rock over which her seat was placed, a three-legged stool, the tripod. Apollo was called Delian from Delos, the island of his birth, and Pythian from his killing of a serpent, Python, which once lived in the case of Pernicius. It was a frightful monster, and the contest was severe, but in the end the gods, uttering arrows, won the victory. Another name often given him was the Lycian, variously explained as meaning of wolf god, god of light, and the god of Lycia. In the Iliad, he is called the Smithian, the mouse god, but whether because he protected mice or destroyed them, no one knows. Often, he was the sun god too. His name Phobos means brilliant or shining. Accurately, however, the sun god was Helios, child of the titan Hyperion. Some very interesting stuff. Apollo at Delphi was purely beneficent power, a direct link between gods and men, guiding men to know the divine will, showing them how to make peace with the gods, the purifier too, able to cleanse even those stained with the blood of their kindred. Nevertheless, there are a few tales told of him which show him pitiless and cruel. Two ideas were fighting in him as in all the gods. A primitive, crude idea, that one that was beautiful and poetic. In him only a little of the primitive was left. The laurel was his tree. Many creatures were sacred to him, chief among them the dolphin and the crow. It's very interesting. I'm going to stop there for today. It's very, very interesting how this stuff is. It's very interesting to me because I understand, like, throughout all of history, there have been many gods, and many times people have worshipped these said gods. And then you have things like Christianity, which don't like you worshiping other gods, which is understandable because he just wants one. It's monotheistic instead of polytheistic, right? But I think it's super interesting how there's all this history wrote about them. And did this come before Christianity? Was this there, or was Christianity and this type of mythology, were they side by side? And what's the difference between this and Christianity? Are they both mythology? Or is Christianity more of like canon and this is just mythology? Because people worship this like Christians worship Christianity. So I don't know. Maybe somebody can shed some light on this. Anyway, thanks for coming to see me. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. We're going to dive more into this book again. And yeah, hopefully more positive stuff. Have a good day.